In short, relative poverty, you see, is really a way of talking about inequality. Relative poverty is not about survival, but it's about whether a person is able to effectively participate in the life of their society. This is not a new idea. Our old friend Adam Smith, in The Wealth of Nations, published in 1776, discussed poverty not as the ability to have adequate goods to sustain life, but rather Smith said, poverty is the lack of whatever a nation's customs and lifestyle determined to be a decent standard of living. So, having a telephone may not seem to be a harsh reality. Most of the human race have managed to live without telephones. But in our culture, and we won't even talk about the people on this campus who stare at tiny screens for hours at a time, right? But in our culture, try getting a job, or arranging a doctor's appointment, or being contacted by your child's school if you don't have ready access to a phone. A particular culture or society can make what one culture may have thought to be superfluous, can actually make it a necessary good in order to function in the society. This came home to me years ago. I was one of the people who resisted the cell phone business. Even now, I'm a proud owner of a flip phone. How nerdy is that you have a flip phone? But years ago, I was walking to a meeting in Manhattan, and I was walking along 7th Avenue, and I was at 7th and 34th. That's a pretty big intersection in Manhattan, if you're familiar with it. It's right near Madison Square Garden, Macy's, right? Big intersection. And there was, on each of the four corners, a bank of public telephones. 3 phones together on each of 4 corners. I was running late for a meeting. This was before the days of my having a cell phone. And I wanted to call ahead and say, look, I'm coming, but I'm running late. I had just come up from Penn Station and gotten off the Amtrak. And I went to the first phone, no receiver. Second phone, whatever was on that machine, I wasn't going to put it next to my ear, right? Over here, no dial tone. Cross the street, check there, nothing working there. The next street, I went through 9 phones. Not one of them worked, not one. And I'm standing there ready to cross to the final bank of phones, and I'm at the red light, and I look at the cars in front of me, and there they are, 5 across. Everybody was talking on the phone in their car. That's when I realized, Himes, you better get a cell phone, right? But the point is, when your employer, right? When your doctor, when people you have to deal with and relate with, your landlord, when people presume they should be able to get you and they can't, right? You become marginalized. You become ineffective. You become non-productive in this society.